Hi, this is Jonathan Marks, and I'm here with Jeffrey Newcarn, MD. He's professor of psychiatry at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai in New York City. He's also the program chair for APSARD, the American Professional Society of ADHD and Related Disorders, which is holding their annual meeting this coming January 12th to 14th at the Washington, D.C. Marriott Hotel. The title of the meeting is ADHD, Evolving Perspectives. Dr. Newcorn, can you share with us an overview of what is evolving in ADHD science and care that will be presented at the meeting?
Thanks very much, Jonathan. Let me first say how happy I am to speak to you about the APSARD meeting. APSARD is a very unique organization that blends together the highest science in ADHD, but also relevance for clinical practice. So it is a real mix of the latest science in context of what people want to do in their clinical practice. And it's very important that the clinical applications of the information that we present be conveyed to the participants in the meeting. Now, that said, I can tell you that we have a lot of exciting areas that we're going to be covering at the meeting. We're going to be presenting new data on the impact of ADHD treatment on functional impairment across the lifespan, with particular relevance to relationship to substance abuse risk, mortality, driving accidents and other problems, and other health-related concerns. That will be in one of our keynote sessions. We'll have a very exciting session on ADHD and cognition, looking at the biological basis of cognition in ADHD, presenting various models to illustrate the biological basis of this phenomenon and some of the more recent issues in the field about this. We'll have a fantastic session on ADHD and technology, thinking about the opportunities the technology offers us and also some of the perils it brings for the patients and families that we interact with. Technology is a very, very powerful tool for conducting research and also as a vehicle for treatment. But at the same time, as anybody who has a family member with ADHD knows, or someone who treats people with ADHD, technology is also one of the greatest curses that we have to overcome. People who can't get off their phone, people who can't get off their screens. We're going to really distill out this issue in that very exciting symposium. We're going to have a cutting-edge presentation on genetic and environmental risk factors for ADHD and how they interact. The interaction is really key here. So we'll be talking about some of the latest findings in genetics and how it's evolved, how it's helped us in refining the way we think about ADHD. And in addition, how we can begin to use that to understand the way ADHD presents in the real world across a lifespan. And also we're thinking about some unusual environments that will either be protective or convey risk for ADHD. That, I think, will be a very unique session. We're also going to have a discussion about ADHD as a brain disorder and some of the interesting back and forth discussion about the kind of research that's needed to demonstrate that and some of the difficulties in conducting that research. We have an outstanding panel to discuss this issue, consisting of some of the best and brightest imagers, geneticists in the ADHD field internationally, and we expect a very high-level discussion about that. And finally, we have a wonderful session on mood dysregulation in ADHD, looking at the biological basis of mood dysregulation, the clinical presentation, and some of the treatment implications. We also have two very important sessions on psychosocial treatment. One is going to consider a variety of issues in psychosocial treatment, again, across the lifespan, with a real focus on ADHD in adulthood. And another is going to talk about opportunities offered by coaching for individuals with ADHD.
Great. This sounds like an exciting meeting. And again, this meeting is open to both researchers and clinicians, correct?
That is correct. And in fact, one of the really nice things that happened at last year's meeting, I invited most of the people who were on that program, including some very high-level researchers from Europe. And they commented to me on the fact that this was such a unique audience that we had assembled of clinicians who were very interested in the science of ADHD. And that really is the group who have tended to come to the APSARD meeting and contribute to making it the excellent meeting that it is right now. In addition, we have several discussion groups that promise to be quite interesting. We identify important topics in the field, and we assemble a group of experts to talk about them. There are two. One is on international perspectives on diagnosis and treatment of ADHD. And we have a very nice panel of ADHD clinicians, researchers, clinical researchers from across the world. We have members of that panel from Asia, Europe, Canada, the United States, Middle East. Promises to be a very invigorating session. And we have another session, new for us, on ADHD in the prison and criminal justice system. As many of you know, ADHD is overrepresented in people that have legal difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
This first attempt to think through the implications of that and how one works with that population should be a very interesting session.
Fascinating. And this is really becoming an international meeting too, isn't it?
It is. This has happened over the last 2 years now. We always had some people, although we're an American-based organization, we had some people from abroad who were part of our board of directors, but we've really added an international flavor. That's been a very nice part of the meeting.
Fantastic.
We have two Ask the Expert sessions, one focusing on psychosocial treatment and one focusing on pharmacologic treatment, where the attendees will get a chance to meet with and speak about cases with some of the leading experts in the field.
Wonderful. So we've been talking with Dr. Jeffrey Newcorn. He's program chair for APSARD. They're holding their annual meeting this coming January 12th to 14th at the Washington, D.C. Marriott Hotel about evolving perspectives and ADHD. It promises to be an exciting meeting. We hope to see you there. Thanks for being with us, Dr. Newcorn.
Thank you.